Let me begin answering this question by pointing out that I'm a fourth-generation Wesleyan pastor, and that my grandfather on my mother's side was also a Wesleyan pastor. Therefore, some of you may decide to dismiss my thoughts as inbred insiderism. However, before you do that, let me make it clear that I've spent much of my younger years in ministry struggling with being Wesleyan and seriously considering all other options. I chose to remain. Therefore, while it is true that I am a Wesleyan by birth, it is equally true that I am a Wesleyan by choice. One other thing I should point out. New Life Wesleyan Church in La Plata, Maryland, where I pastor, is now averaging just over 2,000 in Sunday morning worship attendance. This means that as a pastor and a congregation, we have no real need of a denomination in its traditional role. We now have the capacity to take care of any need we may find on our own. But still, we, and I do mean we, not just I, are committed to being Wesleyan. Our congregation celebrates the support we give to the denomination and is excited about any opportunity to serve the Wesleyan Church. Now, let me give you 3 advantages that we see in being part of the Wesleyan family. The larger a congregation becomes, the more important it is that the leaders of that congregation, especially the pastor, be under the authority of someone. By being part of the Wesleyan Church, that authority is realized. While I may not always agree with the leadership that this denomination has in place, I still must understand and follow the biblical mandate to Christian humility in the face of God-ordained leadership. For this reason, New Life will always be actively engaged in electing those denominational leaders. But once they are elected, we will act with all Holy Spirit-directed submission. Being Wesleyan makes us leaders under authority. Secondly, in today's culture of decentralization and detachment, it is increasingly important to have a sense of belonging. As Wesleyans, we are not just some congregation floating out there in the mass of other nondescript, sometimes pseudo-Christian organizations. We are part instead of a larger group. We are part of a truly global movement. While a church of 100 or so in some small town may put the word international in their name, that means nothing if they have no real influence outside of that town. Being Wesleyan, we are part of a global body of believers that encompasses virtually every ethnicity and nationality. We are more than just New Life Wesleyan in La Plata, Maryland. We are Wesleyans in all of the wonderful colors and cultures that this family includes. Being Wesleyan gives us a larger identity. Finally, being Wesleyan gives us a heritage. While New Life has been around since 1966, that is an intensely short lifespan. Being Wesleyan gives us a heritage that dates back past 1968 merger, and even past the formation of all the North American bodies that now form the Wesleyan Church. Our heritage reaches back literally centuries. We can trace that heritage cleanly through Methodism, the Wesleys themselves, Anglicanism, the outbreak of Protestantism, and back into Catholicism. This heritage is increasingly important in an increasingly detached world. And so, I am a Wesleyan. We here at New Life are Wesleyans. We're in it for the good, the bad, and the indifferent. Because this is not about what we or any single congregation can get out of some partnership. In fact, this is not a partnership at all. It's much deeper than that. This is family, the Wesleyan family, and we're proud to be a part.